Langrisser.
Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I'm going to do a preview video of the update that will be released this week, Major Update 19, Wings of Vengeance. So this update will be released on Thursday, July the 2nd. And the additions with this new major update are, of course, two new heroes. First of all, the two heroes are Shalinka and Illusia, which you see right here on this screen. Okay, I'll do my preview videos of these two heroes later, but personally speaking, I am going to be skipping this banner. Okay. Other than that, there will be the new main story chapters that will be added with this update, which is chapters 11 to 15. So from these chapters battles, you can get more Olivia shards, or Oliver shards, sorry, SSR equipment apparently, and more rewards. So the SSR equipment will likely be, the treasure chests potentially of some of the maps. We'll see where they come from. Okay. And finally, there's going to be a new event, Swimsuit Summer Festival. So this event has run before in the past. Okay. And from this event, you can get SSR hero Ferrokia shards, as well as Freya's limited edition Sunshine Dream skin. Okay. There's also runestones and other rewards with the event. So it's just a rerun of that old event, but it's just happening again for those who have missed it the first time. Freya's swimsuit skin is what you see here, and she's holding some ice cream with a surfing board in the background, as well as a trident. It's quite a pretty looking skin for a character who unfortunately doesn't see much use in general. Okay. And the sprite is what you see on the right side. So on the sprite, she is wearing her swimsuits and she's holding the trident in her hand, and her shield is the surfing board. Also worth mentioning are the skins for Illusia and Shalinka, which are coming from the Echoes of Light. So the first skin is the skin for Illusia, which you see on screen here. It's the skin that we've seen her wear during some of the battles in the chapter missions, where Illusia faces off against Vincent, those past battles before the current events. And then on screen now is an example of her sprite that goes along with the skin. Quite a pretty sprite, I have to say, but unfortunately I don't plan to build or use Illusia, so it's not of much use to me. Next up is Shalinka's Echoes of Light skin, which is the following. Very classy looking, fits her role as a noble of the Crimsonian Empire, I suppose. And yeah, once again, it's a very elegant and classy skin. But as usual, given that I don't plan to draw for Illusia and Shalinka, and I certainly don't plan to buy an Echoes of Light at this time, I unfortunately won't be able to get it. And of course, similar to the skin, the sprite is also very elegant looking. This is the sprite for when she's in her range class. And then this is the sprite for her other class, which is the swordsman class. Additional adjustments worth mentioning are, for example, with the new major update, there's going to be more 3C skills being unlocked. In this case, it will be Illusia, Shalinka, Diharto, Lana, and Kurama. Okay. Next, there will be a love confession unlocked for Night of Mysteries, for what it's worth. And finally, the Secret Realm store will have exclusive equipment for young Jessica, which is a helmet, as well as Angelica, also a helmet. Alright. Other adjustments include they will now unify the teleport and displacement descriptions for all the skills. For example, Ram will now say attacks a single enemy, dealing 1.2 times damage, and inflicts a displacement effect of pushing the target back 2 blocks. Right? This is a good thing because they're now clearly separating which skills are teleporting and which skills are displacing, right? Pretty straightforward in my opinion. Ram and Smash would probably be displacement skills, and then all the other skills would be teleport skills, right? For example, Ledin, Liffinis, 3C, I've always felt those pretty straightforward, but, it's always good to see them make improvements there. Next, they update the description of Gizarov's self-destruction component buff, right? Changing the words, I guess, slightly. They've also added a cannot be dispelled effect to Grand Augmentation and Arcane Expertise buff description for Geralt and Layla's Awakening skill. So updating some of those descriptions for the first 3. Next, they fixed an issue where different levels of the Purgatory Equipment's buff effect would stack. So the modified effect is now the following. The 5-star effect will now overwrite the 4-star effect, and the 4-star effect will overwrite the 3-star effect, and so on. Interesting. So what that meant was previously you could stack Purgatory buffs assuming your Purgatories were at different levels. Let's say level 30 Purgatory, level 40 Purgatory, level 50 Purgatory. So now they just overwrite. Clearly a bug. Good thing that they fixed it, I suppose. The 5th one is they fixed an issue where Scarlet Reaper's fixed damage effect would trigger when attacking enemies who didn't meet the hit point trigger requirements. Always okay, fair enough. Not a bug I would have ever noticed, but nice to see them fix it. Next, they fixed an issue where when Yulia's hit points was insufficient to trigger her talent's unflinching effect, the unflinching buff would still be displayed. Okay, this is a very good fix, right? So now you know when the character can actually revive and when it can't. Number 7, fix an issue where Ares moved through an enemy. He would sometimes not have the option to pass through the path with the highest number of enemies. Okay, so this is like a, I guess, auto-pathing fix, right? Because whenever you tell Ares to move through the enemies, they would automatically move through. Number 8, fixed an issue where when using Earthquake skill against targets using flyer soldiers, damage figures would be displayed incorrectly after the soldiers died. Okay, whatever. Again, not a bug I would have really noticed. So we can see a large list of I guess, text fixes. And other adjustments, when previewing skins in the skin store and change clothes interface, you can tap on the character's portrait on the left to preview the skin's corresponding animations. Okay, fair enough. So you can see the skin animate when you click on it. And finally, fixed an issue where viewing battle reports in Apex Arena Best of 3 interface would sometimes lead to the interface freezing up. Fair enough. So let's try out a few of those adjustments that they mentioned, right? Because the patch has not been released yet. So if I go into the store and maybe click on one of the skins, can I click on this character to animate them? I can. Now I click on the sprite, it animates as well. Yeah, I don't know what they were talking about. We can already get the animations by clicking on these heroes and these sprites. So it seems to be working for us. I have no idea. Okay, so let's move on. So that one we can safely ignore, I suppose. And other things worth mentioning would probably be the Secret Realm store in brief, which would be the Young Jessica and Angelica exclusives. Well, in my opinion, it's quite simple. If you use Young Jessica, you're definitely going to get her exclusive. Otherwise, you won't bother with it, right? As for Angelica, honestly speaking, in the case of Angelica, I don't know anyone who has actually built her up, right? Even though most people have 6-star Angelica by now due to clearing the chapter missions, the problem with using her is first, right, getting her class mastery completed, which requires guild medals, and second, you would have to bond her up, right? And bonding her up uses up a lot of gold. And since there's so many other mages in the game, I just don't see people building up Angelica in general. So I'm not sure why anyone would actually get Angelica's exclusive as a result of this. Okay, so other than that, briefly mentioning the 3 Cs for Lena, DiHarto, and Kurama. So Lena's 3C is basically a 3C that allows her to attack at 3 range and have soldiers get +1 range to participate, right? So it's a nice 3C, but it doesn't make her any more usable for PvP because inherently Lena's weakness in PvP is how easy she is to kill, whether by assassinations with ignore guard attacks or by AoE strikes due to her low hit points and low defense. So that doesn't change her inherent weaknesses, so I don't think I mean, the only use of it would be for PvE content, is what I feel. DiHarto's 3C is another ignore guard attack, just like his current Calamity Strike. The problem for that is DiHarto inherently normally runs Strike, Calamity, and Faction Buff, right? So there's no real good way to fit in that other 3C, right? You certainly would, I mean, at most you would maybe replace Light of Hope and then maybe bring Strike, move again, and then that 3C rather than Calamity. But I just don't see how you could bring both, you know, ignore guard attacks for DiHarto anyways. And realistically, I personally think bringing the Faction Buff with Strike and Calamity is a better combo for most battles. So it's kind of an awkward 3C for DiHarto. And then as for Kurama, in brief, Kurama's 3C is very similar to his currently existing skill, which is the Rose Whip Florin Wheel, right? So with the 3C, you could bring Rose Whip Florin Wheel, his 3C, and his Fruits of World Pass to allow him to transform. So that's an improvement for Kurama, making him more usable, but still, since both skills are about doing fixed damage, it's kind of awkward given all the characters that would have immunity to fixed damage, whether via, you know, Swordsmith Metal or via Jugglers, you know, Great Dragon Barrier and so on. And so that pretty much concludes this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video useful to you. And on that note, Nitro out.